Firm has been hired to carry out a review into complaints about the workplace environment at Rideau Hall. The allegations from former and current employees first came to light in July and claimed that Julie Payette created a toxic workplace at Rideau Hall. Payette later issued a statement saying she welcomed a review. Ottawa-based Quintet Consulting has been selected by the Privy Council office to conduct the analysis. So let's bring in host of Power Play and Question Period, Evan Solomon from Ottawa. So Evan, tell me how significant this is. I mean, the Privy Council was going to look into this anyway, but now they brought in this consulting firm.
I think the Governor General looks forward to this the way you and I look forward to sleeping on a bed of nails. This is not going to be comfortable for the Governor General, Bev, I can tell you that. This is a big deal. You've got the Privy Council, whose job it is to give advice on how the government operates to the Prime Minister, now conducting and overseeing an independent audit of the workplace environment at Rideau Hall, the Governor General, after a myriad of complaints have been well publicized in media. CBC's done a lot of work on it, so has obviously CTV and National Post and others, about the allegations of harassment, abuse, all sorts of things going on inside Rideau Hall. There's been concerns about spending, concerns about what the Governor General has done in terms of how she manages, how she treats people, how she treats RCMP details. I mean, it's been, this is a woman that is probably one of the most accomplished women in the country. On paper, she is just unparalleled, but in Rideau Hall, it has been an unparalleled disaster. She has not done well, and Rideau Hall is surrounded by controversy. Now, remember, she's handpicked by Justin Trudeau. Usually, if you're going to defend the Governor General, who you picked, and there's all these allegations, you know what you do? You let Rideau Hall handle it quietly. We have full faith that Rideau Hall is going to handle all these allegations, and we're sure that they're going to improve their performance. Instead, they've lent her no cover. They have not rushed to her defense in 1 minute. What they've done instead is let the Privy Council take over the investigation. That is like a five-alarm fire and a signal that the Prime Minister's office is not your ally here, Governor General. Then they've got Quintet Consulting, which is an Ottawa-based consulting firm running an independent audit. The terms of reference are pretty interesting. Julie Payette will be interviewed. So will her chief of staff, who has been subject to a lot of allegations. So will past and current employees of Rideau Hall. It'll be overseen by Minister Dominic LeBlanc, whose dad was the Governor General. This is the government saying, we don't like what's going on there. We can't get rid of the Governor General. That is too toxic, too big a deal. But we are going to put a 10-foot pole. And we're going to have this independent audit. It's going to be public. You're on your own, Julie Payette. It is an astonishing Cold War going on now between the Rideau Hall and the Prime Minister's office. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah, and I know our viewers might remember when Chrystia Freeland, the Deputy Prime Minister, was asked about this. She said she supports the office, but she didn't specifically say she supported Julie Payette. So let me ask you this. There's been calls, of course, on behalf of the opposition that maybe, and others, that maybe she should step down. And there's a process to this that might get quite difficult. What about that?
It's very complicated, and constitutional scholars have dusted off all sorts of books and reminded us what the process is. Look, if I was a betting man, I'd say she's going nowhere. The Prime Minister could take her for the proverbial walk in the snow and say, Governor General, Your Excellency, you got to get out of here. It's not good. Save face, you should resign. But he can't force her to do that. She would have to resign. The political consequences of a high-profile woman appointed by Justin Trudeau now resigning, given what happened with the SNC Lavalin and Jordy Wilson-Raybould, I think that's something the Prime Minister's office would desperately like to avoid. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that's a political explosion that would damage everyone, including Julie Payette. So she may decide to do that, but she's shown no signs of that. And one thing we know about Julie Payette, she's an astronaut. She's a highly accomplished scientist. She is not going to give up. So I don't see her doing that. So I don't think there is a way to get rid of her, but she's clearly a big-time branding problem for the government, and they're doing everything they can to put as much distance from her. And that's why you get this remarkable moment where you've got an independent audit on the workplace of Rideau Hall. I mean, Bev, you and I have covered this stuff for a long time. There's been lots of questions and scandals about Governor Generals in the past. I get it. This is different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but you have to go pretty far back in some cases for scandals with governors general, and they don't tend to be about management. It was, I don't know, King Bing affair, all of that, which we don't have time to drill into. But I want to thank you, Evan. Great to see you. Thanks for coming on this program.
Well, spending, I will say this, the governor
Okay.
general spending in the past is a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. We will continue to follow this. Evan, thanks again.